Hey guys, welcome back. We got a quick one today. Notice how my chain tensioner is all good on this side. It has this, and I checked it with a magnet, it has this a little aluminum plate right here that goes over the swing arm, whatever you want to call it, right there, opening. This one does not. It has this little license plate holder metal piece, I'll call it. So I really want to fashion a little aluminum piece there to make sure I can hold my chain tension. You also notice that that piece is bent, the stud that comes out of it. I've got new nuts. I had some trouble with this chain loosening up, so I want to see if I can solve it that way. So let's see what we got over here to fix it. Bought this a long time ago for another project, but it's 1 inch by 1/8 inch piece of aluminum. So we're gonna measure that part up, and then we're gonna cut it to a proper length, drill a hole in it, paint it black, and put it on there. Pretty simple so far. At least that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Okay guys, I just cut it, took a file to the end of it. Next we gotta mark this to drill a hole and drill a hole in the middle. Just to note, this is not gonna be a standard, what I would call stock part. This has a little bit of a concaveness to it, convex, yeah, I think that would be concave. It comes out a little bit. It's kind of built up from these angles right here. So it's not going to be perfect, but that'll give me time to find a used part, because I don't know if I can buy that stock. We'll see. Anyway, so it is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to see if this works. We'll try it out. All right, guys, I'm selecting a drill bit. Looks like this 3/8 will be bigger than that, so we're going to go with that. Drill a hole in the middle of that piece and then paint it up. Okay, guys, here is our piece. I am by no means a professional metal fabricator, but I think this might work. And if I need to make this side stick out more, where those lock nuts go, or the jam nuts, whatever you want to call them, I might just try putting a washer on that side to make it stick out a little more. I don't know, we'll see. Let's check it out and see how this hole's going to fit through that stud. Yep, I think that's going to work. Let's get it painted up and put it on and see how it looks. Okay guys, just got it painted up. Did some gray primer first, did some spray paint. I went ahead and spray painted a washer just so I can set that on the outside to kind of give it a little bit of a rise out. We'll see, you may have to put 2 on there, I'm not sure. Tried to get it around the sides good. I'll probably hit the back one more time. We'll let that dry for a while and then we'll get over to the bike. I went ahead and put it up on my stand video to come about those, and you know, where I thought those weren't the best, but they work. They work pretty good. Gets it up to where I can work on it easily. Satisfactory for the price. Just the holes aren't quite lined up right, you know, manufacturing type stuff. So anyway, let's let this dry and we'll get back on it. Just as a side note, while we're waiting for that paint to dry, it looks like maybe that, at least from the stock side, I'll call this the stock side, assuming it is the stock side and they haven't changed anything. That is a flange nut, and that is just a regular M8 1.25 nut. So I think I did good on the new hardware. I got a flange nut and then just a regular M8 nut. So just for, I guess, everybody's education, this looks like a flange nut to me. It kind of has a built-in washer almost on it. It's flatter on one side than the other, and this is just a regular hex nut. So we will put those in this configuration on the other side, and maybe put that washer to build it out a little to make it almost like the stock side, along with a lock washer, as you can tell by those little divots in there. I got a little video on washers just out there, so if you want to check that out too. But I think that's what we're going to go with. Waiting for this paint to dry and we'll get in there. Okay guys, it didn't quite turn out like I wanted it to. Let's get in there close. Of course I scratched it up really good, and I did bend it a little bit. It's just not quite wide enough. I think maybe I could take it back apart, squeeze this in with some pliers right in here. Maybe that got bent out at some point. Let's look at the other side. Yeah, that one looks much more square. Yeah, that one looks much more square to me. Maybe I'll do that, but that 1 inch is just not quite wide enough for that swing arm, so I bent in a little bit. But I will say it does hold it. This lock nut, it's jammed down onto this flange nut, looking pretty good. I might take this back apart, like I said, squeeze those in a little with some pliers, because it's just not, it's kind of all mangled up. You can tell from these flange nuts over here that this chain has come off previously on this bike and kind of tore things up a little bit. Okay guys, you know I couldn't stop there. Update, found this piece of steel. I think I'm gonna go with steel. I measured this. You can see I got that bent back a little bit. Still not perfect. This right here that I need to cover is 1.25 inches. So I went ahead and I cut down my steel, which is not perfect, to about 1 3/8 inches. It's slightly less. So let's take it over there and I can show you what it's gonna look like. So there you can see I have plenty of clearance between those hex nuts that hold the sprocket on. Even if it jams all the way over, I still have clearance. I might shave a little bit more of that off just to be safe, but it covers the trailing swing arm, I guess we'll call it here, and this is steel also. So I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go ahead and grind down these vertical edges right here on each side just to get it a little bit more clearance to make sure, just in case it comes loose, it can't creep over. It's no way it's going to creep over there, but you know, I guess it could get cockeyed and do something crazy. So it's just something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. Okay guys, I flipped it over to steel. You can see it sits, if I get you in camera, it sits on the outside. I might need to go back and just trim this off a little. I'm gonna try it like this for a while. You can see I have nowhere close to interference. This will be an inspection point, especially for the next several trips, just to make sure this is not coming loose, because this could get in the way of that sprocket, no doubt, and just clank around and tear things up. So I'm going to be on the lookout for a stock part, because I don't even know what the stock part looks like. I'm not sure I ever had one since I bought it. But yeah, this will at least keep my chain tight and I won't run into that problem again. I think I've got it adjusted pretty well, and I've got that back nut, that M8 nut, just jammed down to that flange nut. So I think we are good. I don't know. What do you guys think? Probably more of a temporary fix. I don't know if I were you guys, I don't know if I'd do this on my bike. This is just so I can practice riding here in the neighborhood and get used to this thing. Definitely wouldn't take it on a cross-country trip. But yeah, be on the lookout. Hey, if you know of a source of what the original looks like, maybe leave a comment or a link below and let me know. I'm going to keep looking for that also. Every chain tensioner I found on eBay didn't have these pieces on it, so it must be considered part of this swing arm. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.